Hello and welcome to Artist Aloud Confession Room. It's a great pleasure to introduce Pankaj to the show. The first time Pankaj is going to be this show. How are you doing, Pankaj tonight?
Very well, thank you, Jesse. Thanks a
Um,
lot.
First, I would like I to apologize you and the entire audience who's watching this that we've been a little out of schedule, but yes, we are back,
Yeah,
and
sure.
and I'm excited. Like I'm nervous to ask you a lot of questions.
Yes.
Um, First of all, I want to talk about Khamoshi Ki Awaaz, which is
Yes.
your brand new album. How has been the response so far?
Well, it's been phenomenal. Uh, in fact, we just had someone talk about my concerts in Auckland.
Okay.
Uh, so it was in October when I was touring Australia that we launched this album. And then we had a major launch here in Mumbai with the legend Sunil Gavaskar coming and launching the album.
Awesome.
Uh, it's an album which is very very contemporary when it comes to sound. The sound is very new generation, but the content is brilliant. I have chosen poets who are uh, some of the top names in the history of ghazal writing. The poets, Mirza Ghalib, Ahmad Faraz. These are some of the top poets,
Ji.
and the beauty is that last week I did a concert in Delhi, and I noticed that in an auditorium of 3,000 people, a whole lot of youngsters
Right.
were requesting me for the numbers from Kamshik Yawaz. So I think it's a great beginning.
Um, we've also seen that the way you launched this album, it was really very different. जैसे पहले लॉन्च होता था, पहले एल्बम लॉन्च होता था, फिर लोग आते थे, बट आपने इस एल्बम के लॉन्च करने के पहले से ही लाइक आप यू वर डूइंग a lot of events.
Yes.
You were doing a lot of concerts.
Yes.
So was it planned or?
Yes, I wanted this because now we all are aware of the fact that worldwide there is tremendous following in terms of through tremendous following through the digital platform like what we
Like
doing
we're
just
doing.
now. So obviously there was a large audience which was always there. So I certainly thought that I must reach out to that audience which is hooked on to this, or which is connected to this digital format.
Platform.
And that's how I decided to launch the album in such a way that we have the support of the digital media, and Hangama, Artist Aloud all came on board. And I think we all got together and we worked out the entire launch plan. And I think it's really worked very well because in today's time, I think when we talk about this particular era, I think the combination of live concerts and digital medium is just the right connect and
Perfect.
the right combination.
I'm so excited to ask you. I know
Yes.
it will be difficult for you, but what is your favorite track from Khamoshi?
Well, there are 7 tracks on this album, and out of which, no doubt, my first favorite is Mirza Ghalib Ghazal Koi Umeed Band Nahi
Wow.
Aati, of which Artist Aloud has made a beautiful video
Yes.
and lyrical video.
You can definitely check this out on our YouTube channel.
That's right. Yes, it's there. And I've also made we've also made a video of a beautiful Nazam, Ajab Ek Pagal Si Ladki Hai.
Right.
That's another track which is very close to my heart.
Mm, a story that, since the show is called Confession Room,
Yes.
I'll be asking you a little secret, small secrets about because it's there are a lot of steps when you make an album, and there are a lot of
Yes.
stories involved in making an album. So I want to ask you something which you haven't shared with anybody about this album.
Well, I must share this that this was one of the most difficult projects that I've handled for one simple reason that this time around the focus was very much apart from the content and apart from the overall performance. I think the attention was there was a lot more focus on the what we call sound design, as well as the musical backup, the music arrangement.
Okay.
And I think that's where we spent a lot of time. And that's you can see the result in the album. When you listen to the album, you realize that musically the album is designed very differently than a normal ghazal album, and also the sound is so very different from the routine ghazal albums which you listen. It is very different from some of the albums which I've done.
Mhm.
So I think that was something which took a long time.
So, do you want to give this credit to the sound design team or mixing team?
Yes, it was a joint effort. The music arranger Samir Nichani, who did the arrangement, he was really brilliant. Who designed the interludes, etc.
Mhm.
And also very competent sound engineer Aslam Khan, who's been recording my work for a long time now. So Aslam was equally responsible, and I think musicians who played for
Mhm.
this album. So I think it was a
It was a combination
yes,
of everything, all the best
that's
things
right.
in the world
Yes.
coming to you in 2014. Mm. Okay, shifting my focus from your latest album to something really interesting that you're doing in 2015,
Mm.
which is Irshad.com.
Oh yes.
I want to ask you about Irshad.com. How did it happen?
Well, I have been very passionate about ghazal and ghazal singing, and I've been in fact doing a lot of work in this direction.
Mhm.
If we go back a few years, uh, it was obvious that ghazal had taken some kind of a backseat, and ghazal was not. It was bit out of focus.
Mhm.
So I think we started this program called Khazana, and which we are doing for the last 14 years.
Right, the
And
concert.
the whole idea behind Khazana is to raise funds. It's a ghazal festival actually. It's a 2-night festival, and the whole idea is to raise funds for thalassemia children and cancer patients. And we tied up with in the last 3 4 years we tied up with Hangama, an artist allowed, to do the live streaming of the
The Khazana Festival.
Khazana festival. And it was while that streaming and during that process, I developed this idea that why not do something more digitally
Right.
with ghazals, so that the overall, and fortunately for me, things have worked in our favor, because in the last 2 years, especially last 3 years, we've seen a very sudden and a very strong resurgence, revival of ghazals. People are now back to this fold, and people are, in fact, you can see that the kind of following which is there now for ghazals. So we thought the time was right for taking a step ahead,
Right.
or moving further, or moving forward in that direction. So I happened to meet Mr. Roy, Neeraj Roy, who's the CEO of Hangama, and we discussed this. He is equally passionate about ghazal, this particular genre. So we discussed and we figured out as to how we can reach out to a larger audience,
Mhm.
because we are not talking about the audience only in India. No doubt, we are a country of 1 billion people, so there's a very large audience here. But apart from here, there is a huge fan following across the globe.
Right.
We're talking about Pakistan, we're talking about Bangladesh,
Right.
we're talking about whole of United
Yeah.
States, UK,
US,
America,
Europe, and
yeah, whole of Africa, Europe, everywhere.
So-
Whole of Middle East.
Okay.
So there's a huge following of Indian music, especially ghazal. So we thought, why not reach out to those people? Why not reach out to people globally
Mhm.
and create a platform, create a one destination, one stop destination, which would give everything related to us, to people.
Right.
So we decided that we can actually start uh, a proper music channel.
Mhm.
So
A ghazal channel? Let's call it a ghazal
yes, a
channel.
ghazal channel. Yes.
Okay.
So we worked hard on it, and now we put everything together. So now we've just done a soft launch in Mumbai in the last
That was
week of
again a
November.
concert.
Yeah,
Yes.
at a
Yes.
concert called
Yeah.
Ghazal Harmony,
Yes.
and we've launched this Ghazal channel, as you call it, and we're calling it Irshad. It's Irshad is a Urdu word. Irshad means please begin.
Yes.
When someone is starting something, the audience response is Irshad. So I thought it was an apt title. So we have done a soft launching of Irshad. We hope to launch Irshad in February, and then carry on with a tremendous amount of programming. I can guarantee that in the next a year and a half, 2 years, people will get to see a lot of very differently packaged and very differently shot Ghazal concerts, Ghazal videos, everything related to Ghazal, Sufi, and Ghazal.
So now, of course, everybody knows the destination where you'll find the best of ghazals and the best of music per se will be irshad.com, which will be curated, mentored, and visualized by Pankaj. So that's the destination irshad.com that you have to look forward to. Going ahead, something off from music. I've done a little research about you, and I've come to know that if you would not have been a musician, then you would have been a sports person. Tell me something about sports and your connection. I want to hear everything about it.
Well, I'm so happy, or maybe I'm quite excited, like a youngster, that recently when Sachin Tendulkar released his autobiography, he's devoted a page to Pankaj Das.
Wow, wow,
Where
that is so awesome.
that's right.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, where he talks about how his family was so very fond of my music and how he grew up with his family listening to my music. And to the extent that his brother would come back from Dubai at late in the night at 1 o'clock, and everyone would wait for a Pankaj Das cassette. In those days, that was the era of
And
cassettes.
like your live
Yes,
cassette?
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they would sit and listen to the cassette through the night. And he said his grandmother would make adrak wali chai, and they would listen to this music and enjoy the music. So when I was reading that, I thought that there was some kind of a connect, because when I was growing up, when I was in school, my apart from music, I think I was very passionate, very passionate about cricket. So very passionate that I, in fact, started playing for my school. I used to bowl, I used to bat. I was a good fielder as well. So I was considered a very competent all-rounder in the team. And till my 11th, till my SSC level, I played cricket. After that, obviously, I lost interest because by then music had taken over. And I certainly thought that I was not cut out to be a cricketer. But I always dreamed, because even today, my I would say passion for cricket has not diminished. I still have the same passion for cricket, because I still catch a match on the television wherever I am. I'm excited to go, and I've gone and seen tournaments in UK, in Australia, in Sri Lanka. Gone and seen matches because I've been wanting to go and be there. I during last World Cup, I remember traveling to Chandigarh, traveling to Ahmedabad for matches because I just love cricket.
So I think that was the reason why Gavaskar ji was there to the
Yeah,
launch.
Sunny has been a Sunny is a very big music lover. Sunny loves music, and Sunny and I've known Sunny for more than 30 years now. So we've been friends, and when I was releasing Khamoshi Ki Awaaz, I first thought of Sunny, because I said Sunny is the only person that I have not asked to launch an album for me. So I think it was just the right combination. Yes.
So talking about like this kind of close friendship, more like a family. Okay. Tell us more a little bit about your family. I mean, how is the support, and I mean, what would you like to talk about them?
Well, I think for any artist, it's very important to have the right kind of grounding and the right kind of environment around him. Yeah, I'm rather fortunate that I have great support from my wife and my two daughters. My elder daughter is already an established entrepreneur, actually. She does her, she's mainly into events, and she does a tremendous amount of event. I mean, she's doing tremendous amount of work in terms of for a very niche concepts, whereby she gets classical artists and she gets jazz players, and she does concept like this weekend. She's doing a concert where she has Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji playing the flute,
Wow.
and she has this one, the Trilok to play the percussion, and she has Shubham Mughal playing, singing, and so she brings in these people together, and then she creates a concept, and she's very successful. Yes.
So she's keeping the music flag high.
That's right, and she's going to be very much involved as far as Irshad is concerned.
Awesome. Very important question. Like I want to ask you because music scene has changed for a while since. I mean, 35 years.
Oh, yes.
That's a long time spending in this industry. Earlier, the ghazals was not the focus in the industry.
Right.
Right now, we can see there are a lot of ghazal concerts happening not only in India but across the globe.
Right.
So, how did it happen? Do you want to share some light on this? I mean, suddenly there are a lot of ghazal concerts happening, semi-classical and stuff. So
There are a few things there. I personally feel is that worldwide, uh, when you talk about music lovers or fans of music, uh, what they look for always, what they look for is good poetry and good melody to go with it. This combination of good poetry and good melody has always worked.
Definitely.
And it's the best formula which has been going on for. So obviously, Ghazal is just the right, an ideal example of this formula, because Ghazal has the right kind of poetry, got the right kind of melody. So I guess there was a time in between that people were into things like item songs and things like that. But I think there came a time when people got tired of those things, and I think everyone wants to listen to something which is more meaningful, which has content.
right,
And
definitely, we all want to.
and
We
like
also want to.
last week, I was in Delhi, as I was telling you earlier. I was singing at Siri Fort Auditorium, which is one of the most
Iconic
prestigious
venues of India.
And I could see people standing in that cold outside to get into the auditorium. And I mean, I was freezing. So I can imagine the enthusiasm and love and affection for this kind of music. So I certainly feel that ghazals have revived, ghazals have come back, ghazals have come back in a very big way. And I think today the audiences are ready again to indulge actually and to really indulge into this form of music.
So that's definitely good for us. You start understanding music, you start understanding ghazal, and you start understanding music. So I think it's the best way that Pankaj ji has put it in. Um, Future plans for 2015, we've heard Irshad.com being one of your most closest
I think
projects.
that is, yeah.
And what else? Is there a new single coming up or?
Yeah, Irshad is no doubt the priority now. I think hopefully by February we should be on air. Apart from Irshad, I think March I have a single coming out.
Wow.
And then in August I have.
So you're listening, I hope.
Yeah,
March
all of that.
2015, lock your calendars. So
Yeah.
can we know more about this single?
Yeah, this single is there's a ghazal which is written by there's a very famous young poet. He's one of the very prominent young contemporary generation poet, Alok Srivastav. He's written this, and he recently worked on a television serial title which worked very beautifully. So this is written by him, composed by me. This single will be out in March. And then in August, I am doing an album,
Wow.
which would be a full-fledged album. Yes.
So, do you want to tell the name or something you've already
No, at the
decided?
moment we're just on the working stage,
Okay.
and I have the concept and already started work on it. Yes.
So I think खामोशी की आवाज जब तक लोग सुन ही चुके होंगे तब तक दूसरा एल्बम उनको
Yeah,
रेडी
by
मिलेगा.
August, yes.
Wow. I wish you all the best
Thank you.
for this new album, and we hope to make more noise digitally and more downloads.
Yes.
Please go and download. The more
Sure.
music, the
Yeah.
better for all of us.
Always better. Always better. Yes.
You recently received prestigious Begum Akhtar Lifetime Achievement
Right.
Award. This is one more feather in your cap. How do you feel?
Well, it means a lot to me. I'll be very honest. Means much more than anything else. For one simple reason, that Begum Akhtar is a name which is revered, the name which is considered as God in the field of Hazm. Because she was the one who was actually the real pioneer of this form of music in India. And when I was growing up, the first ghazal singer whom I heard and followed was Begum Akhtar.
Wow.
So from my childhood, I had this dream of meeting her. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to meet her because she passed away when I was very young. But I continued to listen to her music, and in fact, even today I listen to her music. I'm a big fan of hers. So it's very obvious that for me it means the world, because I had never ever imagined in my wildest dreams that I could get an award which was Begum Akhtar. I mean, someone whom I have admired all my life, someone whom I've really literally worshipped all my life. So I think for me it's really an ultimate situation to receive this award.
It's
And that also on an occasion of a centenary birth centenary.
I can just I'm just blown away listening to this story because it's like a dream come true.
That's right. Yes.
And you were listening. I was listening to someone else in my childhood, and suddenly आप बड़े होते हैं और आपको वही award उनके.
Yeah,
उनका
I think
award
that's a big honor. Very big honor.
How spiritual are you?
Well, I am certainly spiritual. I believe in the concept of spirituality because I personally feel that music itself is very, very spiritual. And I have experienced all along in my career the spiritualism or the spiritual part of music, because there have been occasions, not one but many occasions, where I close my eyes and sit on the stage and I go into some kind of a trance. And at some point, I don't even realize as to whether I'm sitting in Delhi or I'm in New York. I just go into a different zone altogether. So I'm sure that music itself is nothing but spiritual experience. So I certainly believe in spiritual experience. I certainly believe in the spiritual part of God. I'm not much of a person that I go to temple regularly or I go to. I think I don't believe much in the the negative aspects of spiritualism, where the religion or the spiritualism is exploited as a business.
Right.
So I don't believe in that part.
Right.
But for me, yes, there is something like God. There is something which keeps you going. There is something which drives you. So certainly there is an element, and for me that element is God. For me that is spiritual.
So did somebody have you ever spoken about this on the public platform? Like have you
Never.
spoken?
No.
Oh, so then I've asked you something which nobody knows. So right, you are here at Confession Room with Pankaj ji. So I'm going to ask you one more question where the spirituality begins. That is the venues. Which is your favorite venue? And internationally or Indian, wherever.
No, there are venues which are very inspiring. There's no doubt about it. There are venues which have tremendous amount of positive energy. and you can feel that positive energy when you're performing there.
Right.
And there is some kind of magic attached to it. So you call it spiritualism, you call it
Is it the people?
vibes, or I don't know what happens. But
Or is it
like
the
I'll give
ground?
you an example. For example, this venue, Siriport in Delhi, has some magic. That every time you perform there, you feel just elevated.
Right.
There is a venue in New York where Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister,
Right.
Modi ji, gave his speech, which was hailed as one of the best ever.
Right.
Where he had an audience of 20,000 people.
Right.
So the same venue, which is known as Madison Square Garden. Madison Square Garden has two venues. One venue is where our Prime Minister addressed the NRIs. So that's a 20,000 seater. Adjoining to that, there is a venue which is a 6,000 seater.
Okay.
But it's the same complex,
Same, yeah.
which is known as Madison Square Garden. I'm very fortunate that I performed there 3 times. To a sold-out concert, 3 sold-out concerts with 6,000 people in attendance.
It's huge.
And same thing that every time I performed at Madison Square Garden, you are on a different high, you are on a different level altogether of performance. There's another venue which I remember very clearly in Los Angeles, a venue called the Shrine. It's literally like a shrine. It's and in the olden days, it was known as the Mecca of performers, Mecca of artists, musicians. Shrine is the auditorium where they used to hold the annual Academy Awards, Oscar Awards, before they built Kodak Theatre.
Right.
So I was fortunate. I performed at Shrine, and again that experience was different. And there is one venue in London which unfortunately got demolished, which was a venue called Wembley Conference Centre and the Albert Hall. I mean, these are the venues which have some kind of a magic.
And what's the length of the show that you've gone through? The maximum, I mean.
I
many
have
hours?
done shows like, for example, I was talking about Madison Square Garden.
Right.
I remember the organizers ended up paying overtime to the union because I performed there and people would just not leave me. And that concert lasted for 4.5 hours.
Wow.
6,000 people sitting there.
4.5 hours.
Yes.
Like party, actually partying.
Yes.
One of your very closest passion, again, I'm going to talk about, so that everybody on this show knows that Pankaj ji loves horses and he loves races. So, which is your favorite horse, and what are the and also I've heard that you won a couple of races. So you want to tell us something about that?
Well, I have been going to the racecourse from the time I was very small with my brother. I have this great fascination for horses. I'm basically a horse lover. I love animal, which is horse. I have 5 horses now, and they're all racing horses. And I've had the good fortune of winning some of the good races at Mumbai and Pune. Unfortunately, it was very sad that I had one filly. She passed away a couple of years back. She won me quite a few races. Her name was Ariana. And then I had another horse, a colt, which was another very good colt. He was called One Wish. He was brilliant. He won me quite a few good races. Unfortunately, he also passed away. But now I have 5 horses, out of which one horse is now getting ready to race, which he would race somewhere in the middle of January. He is a horse we have a lot of hopes from. We've named him the Magician. So let's see if he shows some magic. And but I'm very passionate about racing, and my dream is to win the biggest race of India, which is called the Indian Derby. So one of these days, maybe.
I'm sure your dreams come true. Like you said, you got the award. I'm wishing some dream from you as well.
Win the Derby.
So cricket and racing, horse racing. Do they inspire you in your music? Is there a connect somewhere, or is there no connect? It's just passion.
It's just passion.
It's no connect to your music.
There is no connect. I think my focus is very intense. I think when it comes to music, and I think I out of 365 days, I think 360 days I spend with music.
Okay.
So you can imagine my passion basically. So my focus is so very intense. My attention, my involvement is so very intense as far as music is concerned. So I think for me, something like say racing, going to the stable, spending time with the horse,
Right.
or going to a stadium and watching cricket.
Right.
I think that's the best way I can let myself go.
Exit from, take a small exit.
Yes, small exit, and get some change of environment, and get really sort of away from this whole thing for a little while and come back. So I think this is a great getaway for me.
But I'm sure whenever you go to all these places, people would ask you to sing something for them.
Yeah, I guess, but over a period of time, yeah, I think going to cricket matches and all become a little difficult. Yeah.
So you want to sing something for us right now? Like everyone would ask you to sing something. So
Yeah, I'll just, I think we'll wind up with a couple of lines.
Sure, please. Your fans will be the most happiest.
चांदी जैसा रंग है तेरा, सोने जैसे बाल, एक तू ही धनवान है गोरी, बाकी सब कंगाल.
Wow. So before we kind of wrap up this confession room with you,
Yes.
I want to ask you 23rd and 24th of Jan.
Yes.
Will be something really, really, really good
Yes.
for Mumbai,
Yes.
fans of yours
Yes.
in Mumbai. So you want to tell them what's happening on 23rd?
Yes, continuing with Khamoshi Ki Awaaz, as we discussed, that the album has been very well received, and we did concepts titled Khamoshi Ki Awaaz to promote this album, to launch this album. So we've created this special concert called Khamoshi Ki Awaaz. So we are doing these two concerts on 23rd and 24th January, but this is strictly by public demand, because we got so many mails and we got so much of feedback through Twitter, through Facebook, from everywhere, that in Mumbai people wanted a repeat of Khamoshi Ki Awaaz.
Sure.
So 23rd we are doing Khamoshi Ki Awaaz at Rangshada, which is an auditorium in Bangalore.
Right.
And 24th I am going to Borivali, where I have not performed for a long time, for nearly I think 2.5, 3 years. So 24th we are doing Borivali.
Wow.
So we'll have two concerts.
So it's going to be suburbs, going to get something, and then the town is going
That's
to get
right,
something.
yes.
So it's really good for all the fans. You have to go for Khamoshi Ki Awaaz concert on 23rd and 24th Jan. More details on Pankaj's Facebook page. You can check him out. It's on Twitter. Everywhere you can check it out. We're going to say goodbye to all of you.
Oh yes.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
I
you,
would like
thank
to
you,
congratulate you once again for completing 35 years
Thank you.
for our
Thank
music
you so
industry.
much. Thank you, Artist Aloud, and thanks, my big thank you to all the people on Twitter and everywhere
please.
who have taken the trouble to hook up to this particular network and speak with us. So thank you all.
We shall see you very soon. Till then, take care. Thank you.
Take care. And